feet resting on the floor, and there's that solid connection with something beneath you. If it's okay to turn your palms upwards and your hands are just resting on your lap, and your shoulders are just, allowing your shoulders to be heavy because they are heavy. And if you don't really know what I mean by that, draw your shoulders up, 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 up. Breathe in. And then as you breathe out, let the shoulders go. Breathe in, draw your shoulders up. And as you breathe out, really let your shoulders go. Just do that maybe once or twice more. Feeling your breath, feeling the movement of the shoulders. And the next time you breathe out, just allow the shoulders to be just as they are. And taking your attention to your hands that are resting on your lap, and just being aware of the sensations in your hands and that connection of your hands on the thighs. And just knowing, kind of revisiting the practice that we just worked with before. Just knowing where you are. Being aware of the sounds around you, the room that you're in. And giving yourself time just to hear and to feel. And then you're just going to take your attention to your breathing. And the simplest of things can be the hardest. And all you're going to do is you're going to breathe in and just say to yourself 1. And you breathe out. And you say to yourself 1. And you breathe in. And you say to yourself 2. And you breathe out. And you say to yourself 2. Breathe in. 3. Breathe out. 3. And just carry on. And just go to 5. And when you've breathed out to the count of 5, just start again. And you breathe in, 1. Breathe out, 1. And just carry on just to 5. And if you lose count or lose track, just start again. And if you get impatient or you start to feel something inside, just notice where you feel. And if you start to think of something else, notice what you're thinking. And you start again and you breathe in 1. And you breathe out 1. And you just carry on till you get to 5. And then you start again. And then just notice if you're more caught up with the count or the word than your breathing. And see if you can take your attention to the sensations of your breath, whether it's in your nose or in your body, in your throat or in your chest. And perhaps just release or just stop the count and just be aware of your breath. And now perhaps just repeating to yourself, when you breathe in, I breathe in patience. And when you breathe out, repeating to yourself, I breathe out trust. I breathe in patience. I breathe out trust. And just with those emotions, patience, trust, those concepts or ideas, where can they be felt in your body? And how would it feel to be patient? How does it feel just to trust? And when you breathe in, just patiently feeling the whole of your breath. And then you let the breath go, but you trust that at the end of the out-breath, a new breath will arrive. So patience and trust can be felt just by being with our breath. And within that lies the understanding that when our or if our mind wanders away, we patiently, carefully bring it back. And we can trust in ourselves and cultivate patience with ourselves as we breathe in and as we breathe out. And when or if our mind wanders away, it's not a problem. It's just part of the process of learning to trust and learning to be patient with ourselves and others. And now just for the last few moments, we're going to go back to how we started. So we breathe in, 1, breathe out, 1. And then just carry on going to 5. And when you get to 5, you just start again. So we learn that there's no endings, but just beginnings. And we learn that coming to the end, or what we perceive to be the end, is a positive thing, because it allows us to start again. So we don't race for the finish line. We learn to enjoy the process or the journey. And we learn to slow down. So taking your time and just counting or breathing to 5. And then just let go. And breathe, feeling the whole of your body breathe. In and out. Being aware of the sensations in your body right now. The feeling around your body, the touch of the air on the skin, your clothes, the textures, connection of the floor or the chair. Your whole sense of you, just as you are right now, patient and trusting yourself, building strength, nourishing yourself from the inside, just through your breath and just through the idea of being here, awake and observing and noticing. So just as a short practice comes to an end, just being aware that what you're feeling right now, what you've perhaps experienced or worked with right now, can be taken to other situations. Slowing down, quietening down, maybe can be felt wherever you are, whatever you encounter. So with that in mind, slowly and carefully, just turn your palms down. Slowly and carefully, just drop the chin and open your eyes. So just being aware of you as you are right now. So you take your time. So when you come out of these practices, it's really important, vital really, that you don't rush. So the coming out of a practice is just as important as the actual practice itself, what is still part of the practice. So you take your time and you notice how this has made you feel. And if it hasn't made you feel what you thought it might do, then that's okay. So we learn not to have those expectations. And we learn to accept whatever we're feeling is just part of the process, part of the practice. So taking your time, and then only when you're ready, just bringing your gaze up, back to the screen. So just turn this off.